Let's wait for the viewers to join up.
Yeah, we give a little
Meanwhile,
bit of time.
in the meanwhile, I will post my link on X. Still can't get used to Twitter being called X.
I still don't call it X. I don't know anyone that does.
Yeah, me too. Okay. Okay, people are joining. Oh, I need this stream will зөвхөн англиар ярина. Pin message. I need to tell them that I'm gonna speak only English. Okay, this stream will be saved, and so you can rewind it back if you do not have the time. So I'm here with Artie today, who is our coach, main coach for the Mongols, and I am the duelist, a player from the Mongols. So we are currently faced with an issue or a misunderstanding, and we're here to cover it. So I'll start from A to B, and Artie will help me out. So, as of you all know, we are a Valorant team, and we do not have a official slot in Southeast Asia. For some weird reason, our official slot is in Turkey, which we have 150 ping to, and we do not have access to those servers because we are in Asia. So, our main um, goal was to compete in Premier and oh shit.
Hans, I can take it from here,
Okay,
honestly.
yeah.
All right. So let's start with the Valorant circuit in general. As you guys know, when it comes to playing in Valorant, Valorant is very prideful in the fact that they have a built-in system for competition. You can play the game, and then from the actual main screen of Valorant, you can get into the Challengers League and then get into VCT. That's their whole ideology behind Premier League. The issue is that there are so many small things within the Premiere system that don't end up working well, and that ends up just backfiring on the players. So this all started when we just made the team, right? When the Mongols initially made the Premier team, it automatically places you in a slot that is based on your server. Obviously, being in the Asia Pacific region, the available servers that they can play on, and Cons, you can show the like ping, is from Mongolia. You can play in Hong Kong, Taiwan, or you can play in Tokyo. That's basically it. Those are the only two servers that have a reasonable level of ping. So playing in Valorant Challengers, you kind of only have Hong Kong or Tokyo. And so the issue is that if you are looking at the rules and you're looking at how to compete in Valorant Challengers League, both Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Tokyo have rules that state that 3 out of 5 of the players to compete in Valorant Challengers must be residing in the region or must have residency status in those regions. So if we're thinking about Tokyo, then it says that 3 out of 5 of the players have to be Japanese. For Hong Kong, Taiwan, 3 out of 5 of the players must reside in Hong Kong or Taiwan. Obviously, for Mongolia, that is not a possibility. We don't have our own servers to play on. And that asks the question of where do we play then? So the next possible option is Southeast Asia, which other people have pointed out that there are teams that are competing in Southeast Asia. Well, Southeast Asia also has that same rule for Valorant Challengers. Not only to mention the fact that we have 160 milliseconds of ping. There is an internet provider in Mongolia that can actually get us 100 milliseconds to Singapore servers, but still, it doesn't make sense. And not only that, but there's the same rule of 3 out of 5 of the players must be living in Southeast Asia. So these rules don't actually make sense. And it was our understanding originally when we asked Riot that those rules didn't apply to the Premier relegation slots. That if you were able to promote through Premier, that Riot would figure it out. Unfortunately, though, Riot has proven to us that they just don't care until it's time. So Riot is in the process, or so they say, of figuring it out. But the issue is that today, every Valorant Challengers League team that qualified along with us into Valorant Challengers Japan got their emails. Got their emails saying, "Welcome to Challengers, congratulations." Right? For us, 2 days ago, they said, "We understand your competitive results, and we're working hard to find solutions to find your next steps, and that they'll let us know as soon as they come to a decision." But the issue is that there's already slots being taken. Slots are being taken by teams right now. And for Valorant Premiere for Japan, the episode 8 Act 3 premiere that consz and the team won at first, that slot has just been given to somebody else. For the episode 9 Act 1 that we just won together, has also just been given to somebody else with no direct communication to the team and the emails that are provided on the team. If you notice on this Premier roster, right, I'm not on there because I don't have an APAC account. I'm not on the roster, but I'm the only one that has an email with them just because of who I am within the industry, which sucks. That should not be the case. It should not have to be the fact that I am well known and well connected to be able to get these emails. Because if I wasn't here, then we wouldn't have this level of communication. That's not how it should work. And so, we made a Twitter post and we made a really loud, you statement about this whole situation. And hopefully that's going to get us somewhere. But yeah, the main issue, as consz was alluding to earlier, is that if we're not allowed to play in Japan, we're not allowed to play in Taiwan, Hong Kong. Well, then where are we allowed to play in? And we did some digging because, of course, this is not clear from the get-go, and we found out that our actual legal spot is in EMEA challengers for Turkey, which we cannot play on Turkey servers because you need an EMEA account. It's 150 milliseconds of ping, which is worse than the Southeast Asia situation. 5,000 kilometers is that's where we're supposed to play. It doesn't make sense. And so, if Riot comes back to us and says, yeah, like, you won Premier twice, congratulations, we'll give you a slot in Challengers Turkey. What are we supposed to do? Because if we're supposed to be able to compete in Turkey, we can't scrim with teams in Turkey because it's EMEA. We would have to spend, a bunch of money to actually get to Turkey to be able to boot camp, let alone visa situations. And granted, we can scrim in APAC and then compete in Turkey, all fine and well. But is there an official way for us to do this? Does Riot have anything figured out? Because I don't think that they do. So right now, this is the entire situation from start to finish. Consz, if I've left anything out, let me know. But chat, we're here to answer your guys' questions. Um, if you guys have any questions about the situation, because I'm sure that you do, because everyone actually has questions right now. The situation is still unclear, but we'll do our best to answer what we know.
Okay, I'll take from here.
Yeah.
So, we won Premier twice. So what is Premier? You win this, you get it. You get a new slot to Valorant Challengers League. The whole point of Premier is to bring out unknown teams to the world stage. That's what they said when they announced the Premier. So this is episode 9, Act 1, the current ongoing Premier, which has ended on August 12th, and we won. There were 2 brackets made, and we won. The only 2 teams winning Premier was FAV Gaming and TheMongolz. The rest, second place, third place, fifth place, and etc. etc. So this is episode 9, Act 1, and the previous one, episode 8, Act 3, in Japan, we also won. There were 4 champions: Noet's Fox, Crest Gaming, Mongols, and Delta Esports. We won twice in a row. I don't think any other Premier team has done this before. So we won twice in a row. Where does that get us? Into Valorant Challengers Japan Split 3's advanced stage. So if you have trouble understanding that, here I'll share my screen. Hello, this is my OBS. Sorry. Here here. So we won twice, and it qualifies us to here. Valorant Challengers 2024 Japan Split 3 Advanced Stage Phase 1, which starts in 4 days. So the already qualified teams are Scards, Varel, Reject, Northeption from the previous Split 2, and the other 8 teams will be directly qualified from Premier. This is Premier Episode 8 Act 3, which we've won. This is Premier Episode 9 Act 1, which we've always also won. And so naturally we thought, hey, we got a slot, we should start screaming, and we were waiting for Riot to confirm us that you've qualified. But 4 days left, we didn't receive any emails. So I asked the other winning Premier teams if they had received emails or not, and they've already received, but we haven't. But we've won twice. What's going on? So this is the current situation right now. They're just giving away our slots because we don't have 3 Japanese residents. I personally thought that the Valorant Challengers rules does not apply to Valorant Premier because nobody
Those
said that.
rules,
Don't
yeah, those
exist.
rules are not stated anywhere.
Yes.
And for full clarity, guys, if you look on like the discussion boards on Reddit or on VLR, like people that are talking about this, like, oh yeah, the Mongols didn't read the rules. It's not about us reading the rules. It's that the rules A aren't public, and B, even if you go out of your way to find the rules, there is no rule that says, oh, Mongolia is allowed here. Because even in the region that the rule book says that we're allowed to play in, it still has 3 players must be residing in Turkey. We don't have that. And so we went all the way like through it to find the Hong Kong Taiwan rules. It says that 3 out of 5 players must be residing. That, oh, like, you know, they didn't read the rules for Valorant Japan. Like on Twitter, so many responses say, oh, they didn't read the rules that they have to have 3 Japanese people. Like, we read the rules, but there's also no rule that says that we have a place to compete. And so, yeah, of course it's our understanding that, you know, if we can qualify through Premier, that we'll be allowed to compete.
Yeah.
Like, because that's just the only thing that makes sense.
Yep. Nobody announced that Premier has rules about the whole residency thing. Just nobody said that, and there are no rules that state Premier teams also have to abide by the Valorant Challengers rules. Nowhere it says that nowhere. So
Yeah.
did we just waste our time just because Riot didn't inform us? They didn't say anything. So
I
should
don't think that we wasted our time.
yeah, should I
But
talk about the other team that was able to compete in Hong Kong, Taiwan?
yeah, so I mean we can talk about the other teams, right? So Kobolds, for example, they qualified through the Premier split to compete in Hong Kong, Taiwan. And the organization that runs Valorant Challengers Hong Kong, Taiwan made the exception for them that they are going to be allowed to compete, even though, you know, they don't have 3 residents in Hong Kong, Taiwan. Then there's also Team Trinity, who competed in Premier SEA, and they won, and they got a slot in SEA because even though they don't have 3 residents that live in Southeast Asia, they don't have 3 residents that are, you know, Southeast Asian nationals, they are still allowed to compete because the organizers of Valorant Challengers just gave them the, you know, said, okay, it's fine. Why are we not granted that exact same exemption for Japan? It shouldn't matter if it's Taiwan, Hong Kong. It shouldn't matter if it's the Kobolds or if it's the Mongols or if it's Trinity. It should just be make an actual slot for like Mongolian players or for countries that don't have representation or like don't have a rule at all. Like don't have these rules apply to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, other Mongolian teams have been able to join challengers regardless of their residency. So why are we not able to do that? I mean, why are we being discriminated? We've proved ourselves twice. We scream against the best of the best in the world. We've proved everything we need to, but why are we not being able to compete? Why do we
Yeah.
have our official slot in Turkey, which is like 5,000 kilometers away from us, on an EMEA account? Why are we being so discriminated? I don't know, man.
And that's the thing as well, is that if it were clear, like, then the official response that we would have gotten from Riot when I initially reached out would have been, oh, by the way, your qualification slot is in Turkey, right? They would have told the other Mongolian teams, like, hey, like, instead of making an exception for you to be in Hong Kong, Taiwan, or in Southeast Asia, we'll put you in Turkey. And, then they would have had this conversation before us. But it's just wild to me that, number one, that other teams can get exceptions made for them, but just because we're trying to go in for Japan, we don't get that exception. Number two, that not even official Riot like contacts within the Riot, like within the Valorant esports brand, are telling us about Turkey. We found that rule on our own. And so obviously they're not even thinking about that, right? And then number three is just that I know for a fact that it's not just us, right? There are other really talented teams in Mongolia that we've been scrimming against. And what happens when they promote, right? If it's an exception to the rule for Hong Kong, Taiwan, then should we get that slot? And even if we do get that slot, are they going to make us compete again? Are we wasting our time? So I don't think that's the case. I don't think we're wasting our time. But there's just so many questions.
Yeah. So what we want is we want answers, an official statement from Riot about what we should do next. So are we just gonna lose our slot, or are we gonna be placed in another Challengers League? Do we have to compete again? Why do we have our slot in Europe? When will Mongolia be noticed? We have so many questions. So if any Riot officials are seeing this, please give us an answer, cause we don't know what to do over here. We've tried our
Yeah.
best. We've spent countless amount of time practicing and hoping to get into the big leagues, but this is what we're facing right now. So please help us out.
Yeah. So guys, making sure to just wrap things up here. Um, we still don't have answers, but we will give you guys an update at TheMongolz on Twitter. Also follow consz on Twitter as well. He deserves the hype. That's where we'll be sharing our official responses once we get them, to stay up to date. Um, Thank you guys for your support. We want to continue to be as high of a performing team as we have been. We want to still continue winning, and we want to show the world what we can do. So thank you guys for your support, and yeah, Riot Games, next move is on you.
Yeah. So that's about it, guys. We've said what we wanted to say, and as for our Mongolian fans who didn't understand fully, I will do a stream later on regarding this issue in Mongolian. So that's it for us today. We want to say this, and thanks for watching, and I hope Riot responds. So till next time, guys.